On November 29, 2009, a distress call in Burlingame, Kansas alerted police to a suspicious van and gunshots coming from a neighbor's home, where a father's anger had sparked a deadly rampage, where he brutally shot his wife, mother-in-law, and 2 daughters, including an 18-year-old girl who was killed at close range, and a 10-year-old son who was crying for help during the carnage. How could a father turn against his own flesh and blood? What was the reason for the killer's mercy towards one child? How did police track down and arrest the killer? And what was the ultimate justice for this unspeakable crime? Join me in this video to know the answers to all these questions, and you will be surprised to know. Welcome to Tragic Crimes, where we dive into the darkest true crime stories and explore the most shocking cases that have left the community shattered. Let's dive in. James Craig Kahler was born in 1963 in Weatherford, Texas, and his future wife Karen in 1965. They met in the early 1980s while studying at a Texas university. Craig was an engineering student, and Karen studied humanities. Their relationship quickly blossomed, and they got married in the late 1980s in a small, intimate ceremony. Their first child, Emily, was born in 1991, followed by Lauren in 1993, and his youngest son, Sean, in 1999. Craig's career took off with a well-paying job at a utility company, allowing the family to live comfortably in a nice neighborhood. Karen stayed home to care for the children and make a warm, loving home. They appeared to be the perfect family, active in their community and raising bright, talented kids. But beneath the surface, hidden problems were slowly building. When did things take a turn? In 2007, Karen confided in her younger sister, Linda, that she was on the verge of a breakdown. She revealed that her husband, Craig, had been controlling her for years, and his grip was tightening. Craig demanded to see all their spending, not just big purchases, but everyday expenses too. Karen had to show him supermarket receipts, bank transactions, and even report where she was every day. Craig set a strict schedule for the whole family. They had to be home when he returned from work, and everything, including meals and even intimacy, was planned out. Karen felt trapped with no free time, only endless duties. She tried to meet his demands, hoping he would ease up, but Craig only tightened his control. Linda was shocked, as everyone thought Craig was the perfect husband and father. But Karen, financially dependent on Craig, started looking for a job. Despite her age and having 3 children, Karen was in excellent shape. She followed a healthy diet, exercised regularly, and jogged every day. Secretly, she joined a local gym to work out for several hours daily, which helped her relieve stress and clear her mind. The gym staff noticed her dedication and offered her a chance to become a fitness instructor, which thrilled Karen, as it allowed her to do what she loved and earn money. When Craig discovered Karen's gym visits, he surprisingly reacted calmly and even seemed pleased that she was working and earning her own money. His only conditions were that she be home when he arrived, cook meals, and follow their planned intimate life. Karen accepted these terms as they gave her some freedom and allowed her to manage her finances. How did the unexpected affair shock everyone? A new fitness instructor named Sunny Rice joined the gym, and Karen quickly became close friends with her. For Karen, who had been a stay-at-home mom and rarely socialized outside the family, Sunny became a trusted confidant. They spent a lot of time together, going for walks, having coffee, and sharing personal conversations. Their friendship soon developed into something more, which they kept secret. Eventually, Karen felt she needed to tell her husband, Craig, about her feelings. She spent months preparing for the conversation, unsure of how it would go. When she finally told Craig, he was puzzled but surprisingly calm. The next day, Craig said he was okay with Karen's relationship with Sunny, but only if he could join them. Karen was shocked by this request. Craig started pursuing Sunny, sending her flowers and gifts. He saw it as a way to add excitement to their marriage. but it quickly became clear that he was trying to control the situation. Karen and Sonny eventually rejected Craig's involvement. Feeling insulted, Craig demanded that Karen end the affair immediately, but she continued to date Sonny, genuinely in love. Before we continue our video, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications of the latest video uploads. Why did Craig decide to leave the city? After months of conflicts and stress, Craig decided moving to a new state was the best way to save his family. He found a new job as a water director in Columbia, Missouri, which was close to Kansas. Craig hoped that relocating would end Karen's affair with Sonny and restore their family life. The move in the summer of 2008 was hard for the children, who had to change schools and adapt to a new city. Although Craig's new job paid nearly double his old salary, he wrongly believed it would cut Sonny out of Karen's life. But Karen and Sonny kept in touch through calls, texts, and secret meetings. By late 2008, Karen knew her marriage was over. She didn't love Craig anymore, and divorce was inevitable. The secret meetings with Sonny continued until December. On New Year's Eve, the Craig family went back to their hometown for a party. Sonny was there too. At first, Karen and Sonny kept things low-key, but as the night went on and they drank, they became more open about their relationship. They held hands, exchanged looks, and even kissed in front of guests. Craig was furious. He felt humiliated and made a scene at the party. On the way home, he violently shook Karen, ripped her dress, and slapped her, causing her to fall and hit her head. How did Karen end her relationship with Craig? After returning home, the conflict did not subside, and a few days later, Karen told Craig that she was leaving him. She initiated divorce proceedings and demanded custody of the children. At first, Craig tried to apologize, begging to keep the family for the sake of the children and offering to give their marriage another chance. However, Karen was adamant and obtained a divorce. Craig then began calling their mutual friends and relatives, asking them to talk to Karen and convince her not to break up the family and stay with him. Despite his best efforts, she firmly told him that she was leaving for Sonny and was never truly happy in their marriage. In the early spring of 2009, while they were still living under the same roof, another argument broke out, and Craig resorted to physical violence for the first time since that New Year's Eve party. Karen reported Craig to the police after the violent incident, leading to his arrest. At the station, Craig claimed he was only trying to calm Karen down, not causing her bruises. After the arrest, Karen moved out with the children before the divorce was finalized. Craig was deeply hurt and even angrier when he learned his daughters supported Karen, saying she was finally happy. Feeling betrayed, Craig cut off Emily and Lauren, only seeing Sean on weekends. Despite the divorce, Craig hoped Karen would return. He became obsessively jealous, tracking her every move and trying to install a hidden camera in her home. His actions led him to miss work, which resulted in his dismissal. Without a job, Craig moved into his parents' house and continued stalking Karen. This led Karen to take legal action to prevent him from approaching her, further escalating their conflict. The last day of the Karen family. In November 2009, Karen took her children to visit their 89-year-old grandmother, Dorothy, in Burlingame, Kansas for the Thanksgiving holiday. But the trip ended in tragedy. On the evening of November 29th, the police received a distress call about a suspicious van and gunshots coming from Dorothy's house. Neighbors reported seeing a man enter the house, hearing screams and gunshots, and then seeing him flee in his truck. When police arrived, they found 10-year-old Sean crying for help outside. Inside, they discovered a horrific scene. Dorothy, despite being shot twice, was still alive near the front door. But Karen, Sean's mother, was found dead in the kitchen, shot in the chest and head. Emily, Karen's 18-year-old daughter, lay lifeless between the wall and couch, shot twice at close range. Lauren, the younger daughter, was found upstairs, critically injured and begging for help, repeatedly saying her father had shot her. Despite efforts to save them, Lauren and Dorothy died soon after arrival at the hospital. Lauren passed away on December 1st due to massive blood loss and internal injuries, and Dorothy died a few hours later. The police investigation revealed that Karen's ex-husband, Craig, had committed the heinous crime, driven by a fit of rage and jealousy. As this story comes to a close, what lessons do you think can be learned from this tragedy? Is there anything that could have changed the outcome? Let me know in the comments below. Sean's heartbreaking story. Sean was in shock after witnessing the tragic events. During his interrogation, he described how that evening his mother was cooking in the kitchen when their father suddenly burst into the back door with a shotgun. Without saying anything, he shot Karen twice. Sean froze in fear for a moment. When his father looked at him without aiming, Sean ran through the back door, hoping to warn his grandmother and sisters. As he reached the front of the house, he heard more gunshots. Terrified, he hid in a small shed. How did police track down and arrest the killer? After that, Craig was quickly put on the wanted list as armed and extremely dangerous. Police received reports of a speeding truck, which helped them track his direction. Craig abandoned his truck in a wooded area and started walking down a deserted road. The police found and arrested him the next morning. He left behind a rifle, ammunition, and prescription medication for depression and anxiety. Craig did not resist arrest and appeared confused and scared. He admitted to having a gun and a hunting knife, but claimed he did not plan to use them. At the police station, Craig confessed his guilt and explained his actions. He talked about his wife's affair with Sonny, how they humiliated him at a party, and how his efforts to save his marriage had cost him his job and self-respect. He cried, feeling betrayed by everyone, including his daughters. And then the trail begins. And what was the ultimate justice for this unspeakable crime? Craig's trial started in December 2010. His lawyer, Thomas Heaney, argued that Craig's actions were due to mental illness and insanity, hoping to avoid the death penalty for killing 4 people. Heaney claimed Craig was emotionally devastated after his wife left him. His children sided with her. He lost his job and had to move back with his parents. However, Kansas had repealed the law allowing leniency for insanity claims before 1995. The prosecution found no evidence of insanity. They argued Craig acted with cold calculation. He bought guns and ammunition beforehand and deliberately shot each victim twice, except for his son Sean, whom he spared. In August 2011, Craig was found guilty and sentenced to death. At the final hearing, 12-year-old Sean said he didn't want his father dead. Despite Craig's appeals, the death sentence was upheld, and he remains in prison. Sean was taken in by his grandmother and has since grown up, finished school, and chosen to stay in his home state. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on more shocking cases and stories. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates. See you in the next video.